But to walk out on the floor before a game with no shirt on and shoot, I mean, come on, man.
Let's break down the shot Isiah Thomas just fired and why LeBron James continues to be both the most revered and most resented figure in the NBA. In the process, Thomas may have accidentally exposed why so many current and former NBA players seem to have an issue with LeBron. Is it jealousy? A battle over legacy? Or is it something deeper and far more personal? There's no denying LeBron James has been one of the most polarizing figures in basketball history. And recently, Hall of Famer Isiah Thomas added more fuel to that fire with a few pointed criticisms about LeBron's pre-game behavior. The scene was April 11, 2025. The Los Angeles Lakers were preparing to face the Houston Rockets. LeBron, now in his 22nd season, was going through warm-ups, shirtless. That detail alone was enough to set Thomas off during the NBA TV broadcast. Commenting live on air, Thomas said, "Second part of our doubleheader tonight. LeBron James going to play the game like this. Shirts and skins is what they're doing in LA. I just totally, 100% object to this. If I was the GM or coach, I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this." He didn't stop there. Thomas expressed his deep frustration with what he sees as a steep decline in professionalism across the NBA. "We are a professional NBA league. We ain't summer league. We ain't the YMCA. I think coaches got to go back to suits. I just think the professionalism in all NBA leagues has diminished so much," he added. Although Thomas clarified that he likes LeBron and is a fan of his, he argued that walking onto the court shirtless was a bad look for the league. He even suggested Commissioner Adam Silver should consider disciplinary action. To understand Thomas's frustration, it's important to look at the broader context. His comments weren't just about LeBron specifically, they were aimed at the image of the modern NBA. To Thomas, a legendary Pistons guard who played in an era where suits, discipline, and order were the standard, today's league feels more like a pickup game than a professional sports association. LeBron's response? A day later, on April 12, 2025, he posted to X, saying, "Man, I was going to say something but it's useless at this point in my career." Instead of engaging directly, LeBron congratulated his teammate JJ Redick on a great season. That was all. Subtle but telling. It shows how LeBron, now 40 years old, is selective with his responses. He clearly didn't see Thomas's remarks as serious enough to warrant a real rebuttal. What makes the moment so interesting is the history between LeBron and Thomas. These aren't bitter enemies. In fact, LeBron has previously said that he's had a better personal relationship with Isiah Thomas than even Magic Johnson. And Thomas has praised LeBron multiple times in the past. In August 2024, Thomas called LeBron the greatest player in NBA history, citing his unmatched stats in scoring, assists, and rebounds. Back in 2020, Thomas even dubbed LeBron the Einstein of basketball for his mental approach to the game. So why the public criticism? Why go after LeBron now? To answer that, you have to examine the bigger picture, because this isn't just about being shirtless during warm-ups. LeBron has carried with him a career-long pattern of scrutiny, and much of it comes from very specific flashpoints. First, there's the decision. In 2010, after 7 seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron made his free agency announcement in an unprecedented way, a nationally televised special. "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." With those words, everything changed. Cleveland fans felt betrayed. Jerseys were burned. Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert released a now infamous open letter condemning LeBron. Around the league, legends like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson criticized him, claiming they'd never have joined forces with their rivals. The spectacle, the lack of notice to teams, it all left a bad taste. LeBron later admitted he regretted the way it was handled, but by then, the damage was done. And then came the now infamous celebration event in Miami. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh stood on stage, talking about winning, not 1, not 2, not 3, championships before even playing a single game together. Even Heat president Pat Riley was reportedly uncomfortable with how that looked. LeBron played the villain role his first year in Miami, but it was clear he still wanted to be beloved. When he returned to Cleveland in 2014, it should have been a redemptive homecoming. And in many ways, it was. He led the Cavaliers to a historic championship in 2016, coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. But even then, LeBron's way of operating stirred backlash. Rather than committing to long-term deals, he signed a series of one-year contracts with player options, giving himself maximum leverage. Fans started calling him Le GM for his massive influence on personnel moves. Trading Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love? Done. Getting Tristan Thompson paid? Handled. This control didn't sit well with everyone. It created internal tension, most notably with Kyrie Irving, who reportedly wanted out due to living in LeBron's shadow, despite hitting the game-winning shot in the 2016 finals. And let's not forget the 2016 finals altercation with Draymond Green. That led to Green's suspension for Game 5, a pivotal moment in the series. Critics say it turned the tide. LeBron's success, to some, was always surrounded by controversy. Then there were the rivalries: Paul Pierce, Lance Stevenson, Joakim Noah, Deshaun Stevenson, all players who went out of their way to challenge or mock LeBron. Pierce, in particular, became a vocal critic post-retirement. While working at ESPN, he publicly complained about the network's obsession with talking about LeBron every day. That fatigue wasn't limited to fans, players felt it too. And throughout it all, the constant comparisons to Michael Jordan never let up. Early in his career, LeBron was bashed for not having 6 rings. Even after 4 championships, critics still say he's not MJ. That media saturation has led to what many call LeBron fatigue, a sense that we've heard too much, seen too much, and are still being told he's the greatest. All of these factors, the decision, his media presence, his on-court persona, and his influence over teams, have shaped the perception that LeBron is more brand than baller. And that's what Isiah Thomas may really be reacting to. The shirtless warm-up wasn't the issue, it was the symbol. It was about a changing league. About a standard that Thomas feels has been lost. So while LeBron may not have taken the comment personally, it taps into a narrative that has followed him his entire career, admired by millions, resented by many, and always at the center of the conversation. The legacy is secure, but the debate will never end.